style, you're into delivering on promise, and get your team to work with you. So hang on with me over the next couple of days, because I'm diving into that report that tells you or indicates your growth opportunities. All right, enough about that. Let's dive into the 10 things successful leaders have in common. I got my paper here. So the traits I put down here on paper are traits that I see from both being employed or full-time employee in these very global companies, the people I work with in my advisory role, as well as what I have observed, and the data I collected when conducting this international research on aggressive management and what is costing companies globally. And get pen and paper. If you want to up level your leadership style, get pen and paper, because these traits that I share now are um, global traits. All right, the first one that's on my list is people who are successful, or leaders who are successful in being leaders and stepping into the leadership role. They have a mindset of creating trust. I don't know if that resonates with you, or if you have situations or been in situations where you work for a person, a leader, who did not succeed or struggled with creating trust. Trust is a fundamental component in great leadership mindset. And the reason for that is that when you create trust, you create a trusted environment, you foster creativity, you foster people to fail fast, ask questions, and then my lovely phrase 2 plus 2 equals 10. Actually, what I'm trying to say here is that when you are a master at creating and foster trust and create trusted environment and workplace, you will just see magic happen. So trust is so important if you want to be a charismatic leader that delivers and exceeds expectations. Um, Another thing, I just reading my notes as I was preparing for this. If you have trust, if you're good at creating trust, what happens also is that um, the risk of watermelon reporting, and you may know that when if you're into any type of project that is watermelon reporting, is that you all team members reporting green, but actually it's orange or it's amber or it's red, on track, it's not on track. Well, you actually will minimize or eliminate the watermelon effect if you create trust. And also, the person that creates trust is a person that focuses on the task, on the problems or the challenges at hand, not at the person. There's a big difference here. And there's also then, if you create trust, these charismatic and successful leaders, they create or foster team and spirit, inspire to team success, team celebration, and team effort. Number two is being visionary. That is a common trait when you're a successful leader. You're visionary. You see the big picture. You know where you're going, and you know the big picture is not just 1 year down the road, maybe 5 years down the road, or 10 years down the road. And you know exactly the different projects that you're working on, how though this project fosters and supports that vision of the company. It's so important to be able to talk into, or have the skill to talk into the strategy in the bigger picture, the big picture. That's what charismatic leaders is able to do. Also, when first thing then is we have the vision, we have the strategy, we know where we're going, and that is the reason why we invest money in this project, is because that is a stepping stone to achieve whatever market share, gaining more customers. Obviously, is becoming a more successful company, whatever company it is, maybe your own company. Then we narrow our focus from the visionary for the long-term strategy to the short-term strategy, and that is about destination. Is thing number three. What common people, successful people have in common, is they know exactly why they're doing what they are doing, and they can articulate the reason, the destination to the team members in such a compelling way that, of course, this is why we're doing it. That is so important. And when you know the destination and the destination support the bigger vision, the bigger picture, you also foster that people work smart, they work effortlessly with least resistance, achieving their goals. They're having the right focus. And what does we support? How does what we do now support us on the journey? It's really about the short-term destination supporting the long-term vision. Number four of what successful leaders do is that they are solution oriented across the board, wherever you are, whatever all the different companies I work for, the clients I've served, or the people I have interviewed on my 20 years in the corporate international world. So people who are successful and people who want or get the right people on the team, sorry, they are also solution oriented. And what I mean with this is that not only the focus on the task and not on the person, right? But also if there are some challenges, you have their back, you have the leader's back. This leader supports you when you go to the board of directors, when you are I've been in BP. I had an amazing my first leader, Kirsty Basford. I met Kirsty when back in 2001. Kirsty was amazing in nurturing me and giving me the free space to succeed. And that's the reason why I became a high flyer. She trusted me. Whenever I needed her back, whenever I needed her, she was in the room when I was proposing different business cases and where we're going to invest in from a European perspective. And that's what successful leaders do. They support the people, and they also support the people when when it's really tough and when you have to have some challenging conversations. Then your leader is there to support the conversation and to support what we're doing as a team. And that takes me to the next um, to the next thing. Maybe thing number five, of what successful leaders have in common, is that your leader, if she is successful at being a leader, then that person leads you and paints a picture of your role and your accountability. Me, from being I've been working so many years in US, no, sorry, US, UK. So I'm very used to distinguishing between accountability and responsibility. But great leaders, they give you accountability. You're accountable for something. You're not just responsible. And that's a big difference to me of great leaders. It's actually they delegate. They are so good at delegating activities and tasks, and that is in your role. You know exactly what you are accountable for, and you take pride in delivering on upon that accountability. And in order to deliver, great leaders also give their employees, the team members, space to perform. That's very contradictory to do not um, when you're not relaxed in your leadership role, then you go down and micromanage because you are insecure. So, but when you give space for people to perform, then you also foster a culture where it's like fail fast. When you fail fast, you have a mindset of learning. We learn all the time, and what can we learn from what we just have done? And there's never a mistake, but you set an outcome that didn't really succeed and or help us where we want to go fast. that is very charismatic for people or leaders who are great leaders is they give their team members space to perform and fail fast. And when you give people or your team members space to perform fast, and to perform, then you dare to fail. You dare to fail because you try. You experiment with what is, and you know it's not you're got not gonna be backstabbed or whatever. You're just jumping in, you're trying, and there's okay, maybe that solution was not, I'm doing something else. And really inspires and cultivates creativity and cultivating and encouraging people to go into their zone of genius. And welcome if you just joined me, wherever platform you're from, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. We're talking tonight about leadership mindset and the 10 things that great leaders, successful leaders have in common. So, I'm just counting backwards. Um, Trait number 7, successful leaders, they focus on growth opportunities. What do I mean by that? I don't so much think about the business because there's a lot of growth opportunities here. I think about, if I was your leader, I would think about what growth opportunity do you have so that you can become an even better, improving your skills at what you do, and you can expand your skill set, right? That is um, focus on growth opportunity. And I mention that and I highlight that because I see it across the board in my years of it being in corporate world, in my analysis, my research. I also experience it myself. And that is such a difference when you have leaders who trust you because they just want the best out of you and they want to give you such a big playing ground so you can just throw in the deep water because they know you can swim. They know you will find the solutions and you will pull in and pull in the right people to help you succeed. I've been there so many times. I'm not gonna drop um, projects here because I've been involved and at some very international projects, um, both desizing and upsizing. But that's really what happens when you have leaders working for leaders who trust you. Then they just focus on expanding your growth area, and it's amazing to be working with such people who just opens the world for you. All right. And with that, well, then we go to trade number 8. That is expand your comfort zone. Great leaders, they help you, successful leaders, they help you expand your comfort zone. Like when you're saying also focusing on your growth opportunities because they know that they have a project here that they want you to do. They know you don't have the skills, but they trust you so much and not you that you don't even say, "But I never done that before. I don't know." Right? Yeah, I don't know. You don't even think about expanding your growth opportunity, your comfort zone when you're working with charismatic leaders who are up for success and knows that 2 plus 2 gives more than 4. That is amazing. And if you see you have an opportunity here to improve your leadership skills, just reach out. I'm here to help. Then there is an African saying, and I don't even, I forgot it. So if you are, I know. But it's an African saying uh, that if you want to succeed fast, do it together with someone. That is really, and I should really hang on with me. Is this really so important? And I just really want to pull it out. So bear with me just for a moment. Just bear both for a moment, because I really want to share this with you. Mm, the saying, and where is Mirala? Mirala, Mirala. All right. Here's the saying. If you want to go fast, go alone. Go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That is so important. If you want to go fast, go alone. if you want to go far, go together. And that is that you can really see the distinction between people of the people who go fast or who go far. If you want to go far, whatever it is, you work with someone, you get the right people on your board, you work on your own personal growth. You know that you get to have mentors in, you get to have coaches in to help you go far. It's not about fast. About going far. And that is what happens because great leaders see the opportunity that, oh, you need to get a mentor in because your leader cannot always be your mentor. Get a mentor. They give you the funds to, or maybe co-fund, working with a coach. They see the opportunities, your growth area, your growth edge. That is really, really amazing. I've been working with amazing leaders in various companies, and I experienced that firsthand, and I know the difference when working with charismatic, successful leaders and leaders who are not yet been there. Maybe they haven't even experienced what it means to be actually working with successful people and leaders. That is a that is an edge. And the last but not least of the 10 things that successful people have in common, they help you move forward. And what I mean with that is that they help you do a career plan. I was so used to doing that when I was working in UK. Career plan, it was something that was part of my DNA. When I came to Denmark, nobody knew about the career plan. So I'm gonna ask you, what is your career plan? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Where do you want to be 10 years from now? And how do you get there? That is what successful people help you do. Because remember, it's about going far and we do it together. It's not about, I take pride, and I don't know so many people here that were interviewed and reported that they'll be working with leaders or managers who actually took pride of that they've done the whole lot, but actually had a big team behind them, but that they didn't knowledge. Such leader will never help you create a career plan. But that's what successful leaders do. I hope that these 10 things inspire you to do a reflection inwards on on where your leadership is right now. How do you show up as a leader? There's no right and wrong. There's always growth opportunities. I've been there, and I encourage and cultivate looking for new solutions, looking ahead, looking at the bigger vision, the bigger picture. Where do you want to go? And I do hope that I inspired you to reflect. And if you want some help on what to do, reach out and let's have a chat. I do have some open spaces for laser coaching intensives, and soon, note that down in your notebook. On the 21st of June, that's in 2 weeks, I'm launching or hosting, I'm not launching, I'm hosting a free leadership mindset masterclass, an hour and a half teaching and Q&A, where I will help you set you up for success. You will do some diagnosis on where you are right now with your leadership style and where you want to go. If you want to up-level your leadership style, join me, because what I want to tell you is that when you up-level your leadership style and you do less to achieve more success, you will also experience at navigating life transition. For example, divorce. There are so many, we divorce whatever level we are in the corporate world. But the better you are as a leader, the more success you have also in your. Oh, my daughter is falling down the floor, down in the next room. So I'm going to shorten this. Um, but thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will go in and get my daughter back to bed. It was a big bomb. I didn't know. I don't know if you heard that. Thank you so much for tuning in. My love and appreciation flows to you. Reach out to me if you want to have a conversation on your leadership style. And I'm so curious to know where you are right now and where you want to go with your leadership style. Now she's crying. I'm running now.